Thanks, Mr. Chairman. Chair now recognizes the gentleman from Georgia, Mr. Johnson, for his 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Acting Assistant Director Tim Ferguson, thank you for coming to talk to us today. You lead a large and important workforce of more than 3,000 employees and contractors, and you have a distinguished career in which you served in various capacities with the FBI for more than 22 years, including Chief of the Digital Forensics and Analytics Section and Chief of the Field Operations Section. Thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you.
We should be commending you for all of the work that your division does to keep Americans safe 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, including managing the FBI's tip lines, conducting background checks for firearm purchases, and maintaining robust databases for information sharing. Instead, regrettably, MAGA Republicans called you here to drag you through the mud over a conspiracy theory because manually input data was pulled into one data table but not another. They are ignoring the bottom line that your most complete data set shows that reported crime decreased from 2021 to 2022. And this is why I want to spend the rest of my time talking about the excellent work that your division does and how your division helped bring crime levels down. Acting Assistant Director Ferguson, can you discuss any recent initiatives or projects undertaken by the Criminal Justice Information Services Division that has had a significant impact on the law enforcement community?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for that question. Beginning of February of this year, in an effort to continue the increase in information sharing from the CJIS division and the tips that we receive to our law enforcement partners, we began a new initiative where we are sharing tips that we receive directly with state and local law enforcement agencies. This is something that's new and innovative within the CJIS division, and it's actually thanks to the work that the NICS section did with regard to zip code mapping for the implementation of the NICS Denial Notification Act. We were able to use that with our National Threat Operations section and use that zip code mapping to be able to send tips directly to state and local partners. So we don't have to rely on sending it to the field office and the field office sending it to the local law enforcement partners. We can send it directly to our law enforcement partners.
That's great. The National Crime Information Center is a vital crime data system available to law enforcement agencies at all hours of the day and night, and it contains over 18.4 million records. Assistant Director Ferguson, how does the NCIC support information sharing and communication between law enforcement agencies at the national level?
What a phenomenal system that is, the National Crime Information Center, and the work that the CJIS division staff does on implementing the processes within NCIC, updating NCIC. It contains 22 separate files. And we have over 10 million hits per day. In other words, 10 million inquiries per day from law enforcement. And it is absolutely a lifeline, especially when it comes to officer safety, because within NCIC is the wants and warrants file. So if an individual is pulled over or is encountered by law enforcement and that person has a warrant or has violent tendencies, that officer is made aware of that and makes those officers safe. Right now, we're probably going to hit one of our historic highs for the number of officers that have been killed in the line of duty this year. And NCIC saves lives of those officers on the street.
Thank you. Reducing gun violence is very important. Just yesterday, another community was shaken by gun violence when a student killed 2 people and injured 6 others at her Wisconsin school. In Philadelphia last weekend, dozens of people were shot and 4 died. We combat this scourge in part by conducting thorough background checks before allowing people to purchase firearms. Acting Assistant Director Ferguson, how does the NCIS collaborate with federal, state, and local agencies to ensure the completeness and accuracy of firearm background check information? And how has the NCIS evolved over time to enhance the efficiency and accuracy of background checks?
That's a great question, and I don't think I have time to answer it completely, but what I will say is that the NICS section, I'm appreciative to the legislative body here for the support that they provided to the NICS section for the resources that we have. As a result of that, we are able to automate quite a bit of the services that we provide. As I mentioned before, we have a 90% immediate determination rate for the last 35 months, 90+% for the last 35 months, to be able to make that determination within the first 15 to 30 minutes of a person being at the gun counter, being able to provide that service, that value to the community. Again, the automation methods that we're working through, we just have an amazing team of folks over in NICS that are committed to protecting the Second Amendment and protecting the American people.
Gentleman's time has expired. Thank you.